You know how it goes by this time, and if you don't, you must surely be new here. But for collection updates, the first one of 2022, Happy New Year. We go through the Blu-rays and we go through all the new releases. There were a ton of them this year, or this month, excuse me. Woo, 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 woo. Starting with one of the best films of 2021, 9 Days. Saw this in theaters. This is a really beautiful, fantastic movie. Um, yeah, I don't have much more to say on this. If you have not seen this yet, definitely you're missing out. It's really, really good. Just rearranging things. Then on Blu-ray we have Pig. Saw this in theaters as well. This is really, really good. I want to meet whoever described this as John Wick with a pig because they're incredibly wrong. Um, but still, this is a really good movie. Yeah, I have nothing more to say about that. All the good things you've been hearing about that are true. Then we have The East. This was pretty decent. A little long. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes. But this takes place during like World War II time, and I thought it was a pretty decent story. Like I said, just a little too long, but still pretty good. Then we have The Survivalist. This was just alright. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. Um, Basically, John Malkovich has a team. They go to Jonathan Rhys Meyers' house, and they're like, "Hey, you're harboring somebody that we need." And Jonathan Rhys Meyers is like, "Get out from my property," and the bullets fly, and it's all right. 4 Good Days. Saw this in theaters, and this actually took a little while to come out to DVD and Blu-ray. But I really enjoyed this. Really nice, really tough story about drug addiction. It is really, really good. Um, yeah, not too much more to say about it than that. This was great. Then we have Old Henry, which does not have reversible art like Shout normally does, but it does have interior artwork for those who wanted to see it. This was a really good Western with a really good cast. You have Tim Blake Nelson, Scott Hayes, Stephen Dorff, Trace Adkins, and who's the other one? Gavin Lewis. Yeah, this was really, really good. All about this like guy who basically get roped up in this. How do I want to put it? They get roped up in kind of like what I just described with the Survivalist. Like they get they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're roped up with the wrong person, and it's a really good movie. Highly recommend that one. Then these next 5 movies are all rewatches because I did see them in theaters. The Blu-ray digital code combo pack of Reminiscence, which actually I do have a one sheet for. Thank you, Austin. Um, Really great movie, highly underrated. Um, this totally bombed when it was in theaters. It's a shame because it is a really good movie. Another really good movie, the Blu-ray DVD digital code combo pack of Respect, all about the life and times of Aretha Franklin. I hope Jennifer Hudson gets some awards recognition with this because she really did do a really good job. The Blu-ray DVD digital code combo pack of Candyman, the sequel to Candyman that is called Candyman. Figure that logic out. I also have a one sheet of this. Again, thank you, Austin. Really good movie. Again, not too much to say about this. A lot of people said that they didn't really care for the ending, which I find really odd. Because I liked the ending on this. There is an alternate ending on the disc, which I thought was fine, but I prefer the original theatrical ending. That's been a weird trend that I've been seeing with horror movies this year, where when they're in theaters, like, everybody raves about them. Like, oh, it's really good. It happened with Old. It happened with Candyman. And then when it hits Blu-ray, they're like, it's not really all that good. I'm like, well, what? I don't get it. Didn't hear that about this, though. Consensus has pretty much stayed the same. the Blu-ray digital copy combo pack of Don't Breathe 2. This is pretty much the only title I bought for Black Friday when it was on sale, strictly for completion reasons. This is not that good of a movie. I thought it was just okay. It makes absolutely no sense to turn this vile human being that was portrayed as the villain that he was in the first movie into the hero or anti-hero of the second movie. And apparently they want to do a third one. I don't understand. This is not... Don't Breathe was not a movie. Just because it made so much money doesn't mean that it opens the door for a follow-up. There was no other story to be told. But it was alright. Past the time, and there have been worse. The Blu-ray DVD digital code combo pack of Jungle Cruise. This movie was such a fun time. A lot of people really loved this one. They said that Disney did a really good job adapting their own theme park ride into a movie. Kind of reminded me of how much fun I had with the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because the second one and the third one is when they start to get like really dour. But yeah, this is really good. You even have instrumental interpolations of Metallica in here with Nothing Else Matters. Some really great special features on this as well. So the next two are first-time watches. We have the Blu-ray digital copy combo pack of Never Back Down, Revolt. This being the fourth Never Back Down movie. And I actually watched all four of them back-to-back. And I can definitely say this is probably the worst of the series. It was just alright. This makes no sense calling it Never Back Down because it has nothing to do with... it has no connection to the other three movies. This is a story that's completely separate. They don't have the beatdown, which is like the championship that they have in the first two movies. And it's just, the story is kind of weird. But calling this Never Back Down is very pointless. A lot of people were like, why is it even called that? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm sure there'll be an explanation. There never was. So, it's just kind of this lame fight movie. It was alright. Prisoners of the Ghostland. Pretty decent Nick Cage movie that also has Sofia Boutella and, you can see him right there, Bill Moseley. Pretty decent. Nick Cage says this is the wildest movie that he's ever made. I think not. I think movies like Mandy and Color Out of Space kind of top the weird factor. But this is pretty decent. All about Nick Cage. He basically gets arrested for robbing this bank in a part of Japan. And his punishment, he's strapped with like these explosive devices. And he's ordered by the mayor to go get this kidnapped woman back, and if he doesn't do it within an allotted time, he's dead. Yeah, pretty decent movie. Nothing to shake a stick at. I would say out of the three Nick Cage movies that we got this year, the other one being Willy's Wonderland, I would say that this is probably my least favorite of the three. But the fact that we got three pretty decent Nick Cage movies in 1 year, that's not too bad. But yeah, it ain't too bad. This is a rewatch. This is the last rewatch of the month. This is the Blu-ray digital code combo pack of The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I did see this in theaters. I loved it. Really, really cool. I do want to seek out the documentary, also called The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Basically a look at televangelism, the Jim Bakker and Tammy Faye Bakker scandal that happened way back in the 80s. You could do a documentary about televangelism and their scandals, man. But yeah, this is a really, really good movie, and I highly recommend it. I think it's super underrated. Then from Lionsgate and Saban, we have the Blu-ray digital copy combo pack of American Night, a movie that starts out pretty interesting and just ends up becoming pretty boring. This is very clearly a Tarantino imitator because the movie is told out of sequence and out of chronological order. You have characters who are very, and this is not a knock on Tarantino as he is my favorite director. You have characters who are very much caricatures. and eccentric caricatures at that. And near the end of the movie, I just went, all right, what's next? And I really shouldn't do that with a movie that presents itself as grandiose as this does. It's okay. It's about art dealers and art thieves kind of mixing and crossing paths with each other. Um, yeah, could have been a lot better. Should have been a lot better. Then we have on Blu-ray Raging Fire, starring Donnie Yen and Nicholas Say. This is the final film that was directed by Benny Chan before he passed away from cancer in 2020. Um, he completed his directorial duties on it, but he did not oversee post-production and editing, so um, at least he got the job done, which is pretty sweet. There's even a little sweet moving montage of him directing the movie over the end credits, which is really cool. This is a great movie. If you're into foreign movies and foreign action movies like I am, then you will really dig this. It's a simple story that you've seen in like action movies over here. Um, Basically, there is a big operation that's happening. There's like this gang that's committing these robberies and these they're bringing in these drugs and everything. Um, and it turns out that the cop that is in this isn't really a spoiler, but the cop that's investigating the gang, he finds out that the leader is actually a protege of his, and the bullets do fly. There is a badass shot. It's actually on the back of the Blu-ray. This happens near the end of the movie where Nicholas Say throws a grenade, and he does it in like the coolest nonchalant way ever, as explosions are happening in the background. The action sequences in this movie are done tremendously well. I think the runtime could have been trimmed by at least 10 or 15 minutes. I think 2 hours and 7 minutes is just a little too long for this. But it gave me the goods, and that's all that can be said about that. It's just a really, really fun, really good time. Highly recommend that one. And ending the Blu-ray new releases on a bit of a meh note, also from Lionsgate and Saban, we have the Blu-ray digital copy combo pack of Apache Junction. What I find really interesting is that really the main character of this movie, played by Scout Taylor Compton, is not on the cover at all. That's really, really mysterious to me. Instead, you have Trace Adkins, Thomas Jane, and Stuart Townsend. Okay. This was okay. Could have been a lot worse. It could have been like a really cheaply made Western. Instead, it is a cheaply made Western with a somewhat interesting story that is just a little bit boring. I don't know. Good for a one-time watch, but that's about it. There's my face. As for the other Blu-rays I picked up, not really all that much. And I do want to say right now, before I continue, the month of January is going to have a really light collection update for two reasons. One, I got a speeding ticket. It's not that bad, but two, I've had the whole last week off, and I only got paid for some of the days, which is fine. I knew that was happening, but I just wanted to let people know that January is not going to be a stellar collection update month. It's probably only going to be 10 minutes. Anyway, we have the Sci-Fi 4 film pack that I picked up from a Dollar General, which is really cool. This comes with all individually released Mad Max Fury Road, which is a really good movie, one that I find to be slightly overrated, but it still is really good. Gravity, which is great. I actually do have a copy of Gravity in my collection already. Midnight Special, which is really cool. And Jupiter Ascending, which is meh. It's kind of the odd man out here. But still, really cool set from Warner Brothers. That's awesome. Then from Savers, I picked up The Maltese Falcon. This is a movie I've been on the hunt for, and very happy to now have it on Blu-ray in my collection. I've not seen this, but I definitely do want to see it and get around to seeing it. So yeah. And then finally, you saw me give a copy to David, and you know I had to get a copy for myself. The brand new Blu-ray steelbook of Street Fighter from Mill Creek. This is amazing. This is the sleeve, the slipcover. What really was the selling point for this was how well they designed this. Thanks to Steelbook Obsessed on TikTok. I was like, okay, now I definitely want to get this because it does come with a whole bunch of new special features. But look at the popping on this. Look at how awesome that is. There's the spine. Look at the back. which I thought was really amazing. You open it up, you get the disc, which has some artwork. You get some amazing background artwork. And the icing on the cake, by the way, for anyone who wants to see what the disc looks like, there you go. You get $100 in bison money, which is the currency that he has in the movie. How sweet is that? I really dig that. I really dig it when studios go above and beyond. Street Fighter is a goofy movie, but it is highly underrated. And yes, awesome. Very cool. Mill Creek, you did an outstanding job on this. One of the best steelbooks I've ever seen. And even on the bottom it says, "Are you enough to fight me? All humanity shall bow to me." So they went the extra mile with that. So that is it for the Blu-rays. Now on to the DVDs. We do have some new releases. These are all from Dollar Tree. These are all movies that came out this year. They're all on DVD, and they're all from Echo Bridge. If you remember, a couple months ago I did this, and none of them I liked. Here, one of them I liked, which was a surprise, but instead of 6, we now have 8. And I will say, yeah, mediocrity reigned. First off, we have Blind Ghost. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the second movie of this year that I've seen with Alex Villarette and whoever the dude is with the big face tattoo. Him right here. They were in Dollface together. If you see them in a movie, for the love of God, just run, because it's going to be horrible. This was ridiculous, absolutely nonsensical, incoherent crap. Alex Villarette is supposed to be blind in this, yet the characters constantly keep forgetting that she's blind, as in such one hilarious scene where they have her drive a car. And it wasn't an oversight on the filmmaker's part. It's a part of the plot where the character that she's with goes, "Why don't you try driving?" "Oh, okay. Yeah, here's a loaded gun. Make sure to point it at your face." This is the one that I actually liked. Blue Call. This was a pretty decent and entertaining movie. All about this EMT who's kind of assisting people with assisted suicides, which paramedics really don't do. She gets wrapped up in this, crime that she ends up committing. I won't spoil it since it does happen pretty late into the movie. But this is really entertaining. If you find this at Dollar Tree, definitely pick it up and give it a watch. Cerebrum. Boring. Not very good. No reason why this should have been 2 hours and 1 minute. Chinese-speaking vampires. Also not very good, but at least it's a movie that knows it's not very good, so I can't fault it too much for that. If She Screams. This one was okay. Could have been a lot better. It's a horror movie that sort of forgets at a lot of times that it is a horror movie. But it's okay. I actually would say kind of a slight recommendation for that one if you see that. Life on the Rocks was okay. No need to seek that one out. Senior Entourage. This one was just okay. This, however, I thought was going to be a movie about these old people just going on a road trip. It's not at all what this is. Even the synopsis really kind of fools you into thinking that it is what it is. It really isn't. This is a mockumentary movie about some guy who is trying to make a movie called Senior Entourage. And he's trying to recruit the cast for this, which includes the now late Helen Reddy and Ed Asner. But it really is just a weird little project. It was alright, but it was weird. And then we have The Wrong Path. Not very good. This is extremely mediocre. All about this guy who has a violent past. He's trying to overcome his past, and he's in the psych ward, or he works in the psych ward or something, and they try pinning this crime on him because they know he's like cuckoo. And it's just kind of dumb. Didn't really care for it. I do recommend Blue Call, though. I do want to emphasize that. So now on to the rest of the DVDs. cool. Just going to grab them all, and we're going to rattle them off. We have What Happens in Vegas, which I don't know if I've seen all of. I definitely have to check that out. Suicide Kings, a movie that's been on my list for a while. Who do we have in this? We have Walken, Sean Patrick Flannery, Jay Moore, Henry Thomas, Johnny Galecki, Jeremy Sisto, Dennis Leary, Laura San Giacomo. Wow, that's pretty cool. This should be really good. Fool's Gold, just a movie I've been wanting to see for a little while. Isn't Kevin Hart in this? Yes, he is. Oh, Ray Winstone's in it, too. And Donald Sutherland. That'll be nice for like a Sunday afternoon viewing. Autumn in New York, which was actually brand new factory sealed before I opened it. I love Winona Ryder, so... And Richard Gere's cool, too. 2 Days in Paris. Pi. Really cool that I found this. Tweety's High Flying Adventure. This does replace a VHS copy that I have. However, I'm on the lookout for a better copy because this is in not the best condition, but it does play, so hey. Double feature of French Kiss and She's the One, 2 movies that I've been actively trying to see. Once, a movie that I keep hearing is great, I just haven't seen it. A movie that I should have seen by now, but I just haven't. Finding Neverland. Eastbound and Down, the complete first season. This was great. Picked this up for 50 cents. I do want all 4 seasons of this, so I'm on the hunt for seasons 2, 3, and 4. Music Within. Really nice. Blast with Eddie Griffin, Breckin Meyer, Vinnie Jones, and Vivica A. Fox. Who isn't in this? Oh, Tiny Lister, Shaggy. Cool. The Painted Veil. I picked this up because Edward Norton's in it, and Edward Norton is my all-time favorite male actor. Actress would be Anna Kendrick. Yeah, but you got Naomi Watts in this, too. Who else is in this? Liev Schreiber's in this, so it's a winner. I haven't seen it, but I know it's going to be good. Urban Task Force. Vatos. My lord. Scorching Latino Action, a thunderous thrill ride through the mean streets, while the dude's holding a cap gun on the cover. That is a frickin' cap gun. That is a toy cap gun you would buy from the drugstore. Oh, yeah, real scary. I'm such a dick. Puncture Wounds. I have been looking for this for 2 years. I finally come across it. I still need 2 or 3 more movies, and then I have completed my Dolph Lundgren collection. He's a tough one. The Passion of the Christ. This comes with the original theatrical cut and then the recut version that Gibson did. I have not seen this. I'm told that I need to be really prepared in order to sit down and watch this because it's a very tough sit. It's a very violent movie. So I will definitely let you know when I watch that. Shattered with Pierce Brosnan and Gerard Butler. I love Gerard. That should be entertaining. The Deal, anything for Christian Slater. This also has Selma Blair. The Merry Gentleman with Michael Keaton. Picking up anything with Keaton and found out that this was directed by him, so that's awesome. Cherry Crush. Passion Has a Price, because why wouldn't I pick up something like that? So you will see a few Nick Cage movies in here, which is really cool because the thrift store I went to had like a huge Nick Cage section. Most of them I already had. Whatever I didn't have, I picked up. They did have a copy of The Runner, however, there was no disc in there, and that was the title that I needed. But I picked up the other ones. This is the first of them being Joe. Heard tremendous things about that, but I have not seen that. The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. This is the prequel or follow-up to Rose Red. Also out of print, so really cool. The Hole, which I do have on a crappy Echo Bridge set, but I wanted the original version, which is really cool, because it also comes with special features. Very, very nice. Pan's Labyrinth, a movie I have never seen, but a lot of people say that I should definitely watch. Guillermo is just knocking it out of the park. Red Water. High Tension. So, a little behind-the-scenes secret for you. James Neiman, who was on the show a few weeks ago, when I asked him about the worst movie he had ever seen, he gave kind of a vague answer. While he told me that answer, he told me something else. He told me the answer for what he was vaguely aware of, which I'm not going to say because it would be impolite. He did mention that this might be the worst movie he's ever seen. He did spoil it for me because he's like, you're never going to watch this. I am, because I've actually heard pretty good things about this. High Tension, or Hot Tension, as it is over in its native wherever. A lot of people really like this. I've also heard a lot of people do not like it. There's a chapter selection on here that I just opened up. It says effing police, but it does not say effing. It says the actual F word, so that's really cool. So yeah, Neiman, what do you think about that? Now have it. The Lingering picked this up at a Dollar Tree. Also picked up at a Dollar Tree, we have Ill, Final Contagion. Rise of the Foot Soldier. Once Upon a Time in the Hood. Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children. I know there's like an extended cut of that out there. I am on the lookout for it. Blue Hill Avenue. Jackie Chan is the prisoner. The Legend of Bruce Lee. I'm assuming this is like a TV movie or a TV miniseries or something, because its runtime is 3 hours. So, yeah. But it's got Michael Jai White in it, too. And Mark Dacascos. And Gary Daniels. Some more Nick Cage with Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. I thought I did have this. Turns out I didn't. So, really, really cool. I have seen this, and it's pretty interesting. We have Never Back Down 2, The Beatdown, and Never Back Down, No Surrender, which is the third film. I do have the first one. I already talked about it in a collection update a little while ago. The first one is very tonally nonsensical and off the wall, but it is kind of goofy fun. Second one is not that great. Evan Peters reprises his role because, yeah, that was the dude I wanted to see again. He is a lot more obnoxious this time around than he was in the first movie, and this one's just kind of boring. No Surrender, however, is by far the best of the series. You have a straight, entertaining, fun fight movie, and that's all I wanted. Thank you. You delivered the goods. Replacing a VHS copy, this is Blast from the Past. What If, which I don't know if this has been released on Blu-ray or not, but I don't care because this is a fantastic movie. Fantastic rom-com with Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan, along with Adam Driver. And yes, this is the movie where, if you're big on TikTok, I just had sex, I'm about to eat nachos! So, unless I completely got that wrong, but I remember that distinctly from that movie. A Simple Twist of Fate. The Best of Primetime Glick, which I did not mean to show Steve Martin and Martin Short in that order, which is kind of nice how that happened. Really cool. Primetime Glick was great. Some more Nick Cage, 3 in a row actually, with Peggy Sue Got Married, Honeymoon in Vegas, and Raising Arizona. We have A Fish Called Wanda, which is a classic, but I have not seen it. Surviving Christmas, and the last of the DVDs, Schitt's Creek, the complete series. This was on sale at Target. I said I gotta get it. My mom loves this show, so yes, very, very nice. Hey. Alrighty, some miscellaneous items. We have Forza Motorsport 3 for Xbox 360. This copy, however, also comes with Forza Motorsport 4, which was not supposed to happen. Whoever traded this in traded in the disc for both games, which is really cool. So when I bought this on the show, I ended up returning my copy of Forza Motorsport 4 because I'm like, well, I have it. I don't need it. So that's pretty cool. Hey. 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, that's not bad. Jordan got me this on the Christmas show. I've not listened to this yet. This is Sensuous Sax, The Kiss. Copyright 1995. Yeah. This looks sensuous. Now time for some VHS. We have House 2, The Second Story, which is really cool. I did pick this up purely for collecting purposes. I was going to pass on this because the tape does have mold on it, which I can easily go in there and clean. But I don't really... this is a movie that I'm going to end up getting on DVD anyway, so I figured just for the artwork, it would be good for collecting purposes. So, House 2, The Second Story. We have Intrepid with James Coburn, Costas Mandylor, and Finola Hughes. Looks like an action movie on a submarine. Playing by Heart. This is a Miramax title that's got everybody in it. Gillian Anderson, Ellen Burstyn, Sean Connery, Anthony Edwards, Angelina Jolie, Jay Moore, Ryan Philippe, Dennis Quaid, Gina Rollins, Jon Stewart, and Madeline Stowe. So, pretty nice. The Last Don 2, I do have the first one, so that is really cool that I have now the second film. But this is a bootleg, so I need to get the actual one. Safe House, an action movie with Patrick Stewart and Hector Elizondo. This looks pretty interesting. Yeah. This, I was going to grab whatever. It's Brian Bosworth in Back in Business. Hell yeah, I'm going to grab this. Why wouldn't I? He's back on the street, back in trouble, and back in action. He's back in business. And then I mentioned that I picked this up on the show as well. This is Kickboxer with Van Damme. I mentioned that I wanted to get his work that was available on VHS on VHS. I already have this on VHS. I didn't know that because the cover art is different than the one that I have. So, oops. Finally, to conclude this, we do have some books. These are 3 books that I picked up. These are actually new releases. I don't tend to do that. We have Changes by Sheldon Pierce, an oral history of Tupac Shakur. I ran through Tupac's entire filmography and his documentariography this year. Really enjoyed doing that. I will say, as an actor, he was never in a bad movie. Not one. If we're counting his cameo in Nothing But Trouble, he never made a bad movie. If we're not, he never made a bad movie. He was excellent in Juice. He was really good in Poetic Justice. He was really good in Above the Rim. These are all good to great movies anyway. Awesome in Bullet with Mickey Rourke. Fantastic in Gridlocked with Tim Roth. And amazing in Gang Related with Jim Belushi. Also the documentary Tupac Resurrection. Highly recommend that. But yeah, this looks to be a really cool, definitive Tupac book. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the novel by Quentin Tarantino. This is the deluxe edition. I do have the standard paperback. This has a bunch of bonus material. When the novel ends, you get a script of a Bounty Law episode called Incident at Inez. Bounty Law is a made-up show, obviously. You get made-up production photographs, including some Bounty Law. And you have this graphic novel with with Bounty Law, which is really cool. I love how much care he put into this. Really, really nice. And then Sopranos, Woke Up This Morning by Michael Imperioli and Steve Schirripa, with Philip Lerman, the definitive oral history of The Sopranos. Yes, really nice. We have this box set that comes with Wonder by, what's his name? R.J. Pagliaccio, and 365 Days of Wonder. Very, very nice. Hard box set. We have We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. Party of Three, a Hot Cops novel by Lacey Alexander. Ooh. Two Men, One Woman, No Holds Barred. One man's putting her first. Mira Adams knows she has a great guy in her longtime lover, Ethan West. He's smart, handsome, and sexy as hell. And she's always respected Ethan's work, as his law enforcement training with the HOT team, that's literally what they call themselves, has led him on an admirable path of aiding the disenfranchised. Yet over time she's begun to fear that she'll always come in second to his career. Another man's returning from her past. To prove otherwise, Ethan has planned a very special weekend getaway for her birthday. His gift is Rogan Wolf. Oh, give me a break. Mira's old flame and a co-worker of Ethan's from the HOT unit. Rogan is more than happy to make Mira's deepest fantasy come true, to be shared by two men devoted only to her pleasure. The party of three is just getting started. While Ethan is caring and well-meaning, encouraging Mira to explore herself, Rogan is irresistibly bad to the bone. And he soon pushes her to expand her limits in new and outrageous ways. Yet falling for Rogan all over again is one boundary she never imagines she'll cross, and submitting to this desire could change everything. Oh, Lord. Can I read an excerpt? She noticed in her peripheral vision when Rogan took the captain's seat again. He was watching, and now drinking a beer, the same way she thought he might observe a stripper on a stage. But her change in mindset was so complete that nothing about it turned her off. In fact, it turned her on. Watching a dude named Rogan drink a beer, whatever floats your frickin' boat. Literally, they're on a boat. Guns N' Roses by Keisha Irvin. Looks entertaining. This was cool. The 10th anniversary of Nikki Sixx's The Heroin Diaries. A year in the life of a shattered rock star. This is something that I've been on the hunt for. Really kind of chaotic book, all about drug use and everything. Really, really cool. Then I just picked this up yesterday, the last day of 2021. Rebel Without a Crew, or How a 23-year-old Filmmaker with $7,000 Became a Hollywood Player by Robert Rodriguez. Been wanting to read that for a long, long time. We'll finish up with paperbacks. We have Hearts in Atlantis by Stephen King. Messages from Michael by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. The Death and Life of Superman by Roger Stern. Spider-Man, Carnage in New York by David Michelin and Dean Wesley Smith. The Amityville Horror, A True Story by Jay Anson. Then a bunch of Fabio novels. These are all by him and a ghostwriter. Right? Am I correct? Yes, or in collaboration with. We have Mysterious, Champion, and Rogue. He's apparently done a lot of books. Guilty Wives by James Patterson and David Ellis. Usher's Passing by Robert R. McCammon. A Thin Dark Line by Tammy Hogue. Got some true crime here with The Want Ad Killer by Ann Rule. Some Grisham here with Grey Mountain and The Rooster Bar. Donnie Brasco by Joseph D. Pistone, which is a nonfiction book, and then he turned it into a fiction series with Donnie Brasco, Deep Cover. James Bond Inn, The Man from Barbarossa by John Gardner, really cool. The Hunt for Red October by Tom Clancy, the very first Jack Ryan novel, and now there's like 800 of them. And finally, Rising Sun by Michael Creighton. Happy New Year.